Coon. Sorry about your luck. You turkey egg snatcher. Gotcha. Mr. Possum. Let's get him out. No, come on. Those aren't cute, cuddly. Yeah, we still see you over there. Don't play possum. It's the only way I can get any beaver if I sneak up on it. What's up, guys? Good morning. What I wanted to do on this video was kind of going back to my previous video. I had mentioned that I'm new to trapping. It's almost turkey season. We just moved out here and we have an abundant amount of raccoons. So what I've done is I bought 10 dog-proof traps and I've set them out. I've got 3 on a neighbor's property. And over the last few days, so I've had them out for, let's just say 4 nights now. And we've caught 15 up to this point. And it was a mix. It was, you know, some raccoons and a couple possums got in there. So what I did is I took videos and just snips of running those traps on each morning. Usually it was morning. And then what I wanted to do is make a final video. Well, not a final video. We've got some weather moving in. It's rainy. I don't know if you could tell, but super cloudy. We've got some lots of rain coming in. And from what I can tell on the YouTube education that I'm trying to get is that when rain moves in, it kind of can shut things down. Cooler weather, which I understand will shut down some activity. And we have some plans for this weekend. We're going to go to Chupp's auction up in Inola. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to go and run the traps one more time. And then I'm going to trip all of them. And because I don't want any active traps out there when I know that I'm going to either the rain's going to shut me down. I've got a couple big days for work as far as I'm going to be busy. Anyway, if I can't run them every day, I don't want an active trap out there. So anyway, today's video is just going to be kind of a hodgepodge right off the bat. What I'll do is I'll cut to those clips. I'll show you some trail cam videos. I don't know if I'll put it before this intro or afterwards, but yeah, we've got some unique stuff. We've got we've got a lot of different variety of animals. So anyway, I'm going to cut here and I will show you what's led up to today, and then we'll jump in the mule and we'll go run the traps. All right. Going to go down to the creek and check it out. See if our couple down here caught anything. There's a trail that I cut. Let's see if the wildlife drives it. Oh, nothing on that set. Nope. Golf ball still there. There's trap 1. And where's the other one? The other one. So we'll see. Caught one there last night. So let's go get these traps reset. Need to buy a 22. I turkey egg thieves. All right, we're gonna get this done and get it reset. Okay, this is what I use. A buddy of mine who's a wildlife biologist recommended it. Alaska Fish Fertilizer. Actually, he didn't recommend this particular brand, but it's fish emulsion. So I am telling you, it stinks. You don't want to get any on your hands. That's for sure. So what we'll do is we'll just pour a little bit in there, and I like to drizzle it around a little bit. Yeah, that is some nasty stuff. Okay. Let's get our golf ball. I've read about putting golf balls to keep the mice and whatnot in there, so I really need to bring a towel. But okay, let's go to the next one. These next two, we'll drive right past the first two that we checked, the field. And then I've got two set up on the same creek, just a little further. Yeah, so you'll see in some of the other videos that I post the plan. This is going to be our area. If you'll notice the pond dam, we're going to rebuild this pond dam. That'll be on the project video, but pine trees right here. We want some towering pine trees. That tree is dead, it's coming down, but eventually we want to put some pine trees here to kind of grow up, come up behind the pond, you know, just more for looks. Always love pine trees. Then here we'll do fruit trees over here, food plots over here. We'll make some micro plots. But I've got to get this. This ground is horrible. So I've got to get in here and disc this up or something. And before I can do anything. Okay. Need to get the brush hog. We're going to run the brush hog today. And come through here and cut out a little bit of a clearing. Uh-oh. Looks like we've got a customer. Mr. Coon Coon. Mr. Coon Coon. Oh, let's see what we have here. Wow, it really surprises me we don't have one right there. See deer all the time, or wildlife come across and go that way, and I really thought that was going to produce, but this one has produced a coon every night. So same thing. Let's get this one taken care of and reset to move on to the next one. All right, trap reset, and let's go on to the next one. Whew. Front's coming in today, and the old asthma is talking to me. this is where I've noticed a lot of them when we deer hunted. Really just trying to thin it out. Haven't put a deer feeder. Like I said, we've just been here for 4 months, so really didn't want to do anything during deer season. But this year it'll be it's gonna be a project. So let's see if we have a customer down here. No customer. Ooh, but my golf ball's way over there. Odd. Huh. I want to check that trap to make sure that it triggered. Let's go over here and see if... Uh-oh. We got a customer. We got a possum. Mr. Possum. So, let's get out and go check out Mr. Opossum. Yes, sir. Well, sir. Okay. Let's get this joker taken care of and go on to the next one. Got any customers. We've got 2 over there on the edge near that mineral block. None there. Of course, we've got 2 back in the creek, but we'll check that in a second. Let's go. We've got 3 over here. Yeah, it doesn't take much for this field to really get wet. So they're forecasting lots of rain, so in my last video I mentioned a lagoon septic system. I drove right up to it, but my wife pointed out to me I didn't show it, so I'll show it now. Let's go down there and look at it. All right. Also, no, about a trap right over there. But yeah, this is the lagoon septic system. You see a pipe running there that runs up to actually a septic tank in the ground that catches the solids, but the liquids flow into here and, you know, through the sun and, you know, natural breakdown of the process is what, you know, I guess, I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm told. But when you look around, a lot of the homes around here have that set up, so it's not uncommon, but it sure was weird when he first said it. So anyway, let's go reset this, or let's go trip this trap. I'm not going to be able to check them for a couple days, so I want to make sure that we don't catch anything and it sit here and suffer. So anyway, let's trip this. All right. All right, easy enough. Oh, there's my golf ball, which it's all right. Anyway, let's get on back. Let's try not to fall in the lagoon. That would not be a good situation. You know, ironically, it doesn't smell. I deer hunted in a tree right here, got a pinch point, and I never smell it. We never smell this. And I've come down here several times, even when we moved in October. It was really warm. It got up to 90 degrees a couple times, and it never, and we never smelt it. So, okay, that was our concern, is living, 120 yards from it, that we were going to be able to see it. So, all right, let's go on to the next one. Helps take the emergency brake off. All right. Bush hogged all this yesterday right before the rain. Nothing on this one. See the golf ball there? Let's walk over here and see if there's anything in this one. And golf ball there. So let's walk down and trip these. Like I said, it's not hurting my feelings that nothing's caught. I obviously would have liked to had something caught, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. All right. Here's a picture of the creek. This is a somewhat shallow water crossing. Ooh, man, it's slick. But it's still just above your muck boots. So I've got to work on this and see if I can get that, because there was, this looks like a natural crossing, but when it gets full, when the creek gets up to this level, I get very little movement across here. So anyway, let's trip this one again. I'll go ahead and take my golf ball. Golf balls aren't cheap, so we gotta make sure we keep them. I need to go to range, although I don't play golf, but all right. You know what? Just walk down here and trip this one. It's just as easy. Grab the tennis ball or golf ball. All right. All right, like I said, I don't really like filming on other people's property, but we're gonna go over here. We're gonna check these. It's got 3. Now they're set up right around his feeder, which he had told me that it's spinning corn. So we'll see. We had 2 yesterday. So anyway, like I said, just the last run. Like I mentioned, this is the 3rd or 4th day. I think it's the 4th day of having traps set. So, it's just kind of a recap, right? I mean, I wanted to get a few days of footage of success, failures. I really wish I had the camera set up where I fell and busted my rear a few minutes ago. So, yeah, it was one of those moments. YouTube newbie lessons learned. I always tell my guys, when you have problems go wrong in projects, then it can be a success if you do lessons learned, if you learn from your mistakes. So anyway, we're gonna get over here. I'm at the fence, fixed it where I can just jump over it, and we're gonna go over there and check it out. All right, back at the fence. Nothing. Wow. I think this rain, and again, I'm learning, right? I think this rain shuts down activity for coons. I don't know. Just what I've learned on my YouTube education, that it could stunt activity. So anyway, we're gonna walk out and walk on back to the mule and see. But yeah, I gotta talk to the neighbor about filming, because there's a creek and it gets sketchy. So one thing I've learned, muck boots and mud on a steep creek bank, not at all. Used to, when I was younger, we'd run the banks, and when the sand bass, white bass, whatever you call them, whatever part of the country you're from, but they run up in creeks. I had a pair of football cleats that I would use, and man, those were the best things. But I've got to invest in some boots that have some traction. So anyway, let's get on back to the mule. Another thing I've learned is I've got to get a windshield for this. It was like an $800 option. I just didn't want to spend $800 extra on a windshield, but all right, we're back on dry land. Well, actually, just under the porch. Yeah, I mean, 10 for 0, 0 for 10 on that run, which I didn't expect much. I mean, like I said, the rain, I've heard that shuts it down, and I'm learning, right? I mean, this is a learning process and stuff. So, you know, really the purpose of the video was to get out, run the traps, and really with this incoming weather, I didn't want traps set, and if I knew I couldn't run them every day. So I'm fortunate that I can run them every day, but with weather, and I've got a trip I've got to make on the weekends. Me and my wife, we're going to go to the Chups auction up in, I believe it's Iola, Oklahoma. But so there's lots of things happening. I just didn't want traps, active traps, sitting out to where I knew I couldn't run them. So anyway, I'm gonna post a bunch of little clips, some trail cam video, and man, we've had beavers, we've had otters, and then of course everything else you can think of: deer, hog, possums, coons. I mean, this creek has really turned out to be pretty cool, but no turkeys, not a single flipping turkey. So anyway, that's what all this works for. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you got any comments, leave them in there. Like I said, I take any suggestions. If you know a good place to buy some creek boots, something to where, you know, run up and down wet creeks, I welcome that because these are not cutting it. So anyway, all right, guys. Well, hope you like it. Like and subscribe. And as always, have a great one.